Thanks for joining me today. Today I'm going to be making a healthy meatloaf and vegetable. So let me show you how I make my meatloaf. It's really easy and it's really good. So I'm going to start off today by using a pound of ground sirloin, and this is going to be the lean sirloin that we're going to be using. And then instead of using breadcrumbs or, bread, white bread, I'm going to be using 100% whole wheat buns. I'm going to take one of these buns and make my meatloaf. And each bun has 190 calories and only 3 grams of fat. So I'm going to be taking one of these buns and I'm going to put it in the blender until I have the consistency of breadcrumbs. So I've ground one bun up, and this is the consistency. And I'm going to go ahead and add this. And I'm also going to add 1 package of onion soup mix. Now this is going to give it a lot of its flavor. It is just going to make it so delicious, and that's that yummy taste that I really enjoy when I have my meatloaf. We're going to scramble up 1 egg. Add this to our meatloaf. And I've got a little shallot from yesterday. I think I'm going to go ahead and use this. Now we are going to have the onion soup that's in the onion soup mix that's in our meatloaf, so we don't really need a lot of onion. I'm just using this shallot so that we can have some diced onion inside of it. And I'm going to add some salt and pepper, a little bit of salt, some pepper. I'm going to use a few of these peppers. I'm going to save a few for my salad, but I'm going to throw a few of them in. The rest of these veggies will go in my salad. And then I'm also going to add a little bit of mustard and ketchup, and then we'll see how much water we need. I always add mustard to my meatloaf. I just think it gives it a really good flavor. About a tablespoon and about 2 tablespoons of ketchup. Now, if you prefer to use tomato sauce, you do that, whatever works for you. And then I'm just going to mix this up. Probably gonna have to put my hands in here, but I did get hurt yesterday, so I'm gonna have to put a glove on this right hand. And anything about a meatloaf is really based on what you like. So anything you want to add to it or take out is completely up to you. I'm just gonna mix this up really good and see if I'm even gonna need to add some water. I'm not sure I'm going to. It's kind of got a nice consistency just the way it is. Actually, I can see right now I don't need to add any water at all. Just want to make sure that egg is completely mixed in, along with the shallots and the vegetables. That looks really good. And I've got a couple little loaf pans. I'm going to make a meatloaf for tonight, and then I'm also going to freeze one. So when I freeze a meatloaf, I actually freeze them. I actually freeze the meatloaf uncooked. Although I have, also in the past done them cooked as well, but I just think this makes for a better meatloaf. So one of these is for tonight. I mean, I'm not going to eat it all tonight, but this is how I make my meatloaf. Just try to get them as even as possible. That looks pretty good. I'm going to try to shape that a little bit. And what you see what I'm doing, I'm kind of making a little bit of room on the side of the pan. Now for this one that I'm freezing, I'm not going to worry about it. I'm going to freeze it just like that, and I'll put the ketchup on it after I thaw it out and get it ready to cook. But this one here, I'm actually going to shape it into a meatloaf, just like this. And I want to leave a little bit of room on the sides for the grease to go. And then that way we can get as much of the grease out as we need to. So make sure there's a little bit of room for the grease to settle. And it will. You'll be surprised. And then we're just gonna put a little bit of ketchup over the top. Now this is a very small meatloaf, so I expect it to cook really fast. I'm gonna put it in my oven. I have it preheating at 380 degrees, and I'm gonna check it in 30 minutes and see how it looks. Now I'm gonna cover this meatloaf in plastic wrap. I'm actually gonna cover it a couple of times. I really want to make sure that there's no air in it when I freeze this. And this should last in your freezer, you know, really a couple of months. And whenever you're ready then to cook a meatloaf and you don't have anything planned for dinner, here you go, you've got dinner all ready. And I don't even need to label this because I can see exactly what it is. And there you go, ready for the freezer. So I have a little bit of salad from a salad mix, and I picked the rest of this fresh from my garden. I have a couple little nasturtiums I'm gonna put on the top. Those are edible flowers. I'm just getting some of the water out of my salad. See, it's important to always do that. There's always water. So all I'm gonna do at this point is take these pieces of lettuce out. I'm just gonna break off the larger stems before I put them in my salad bowl. And this is really a good lettuce. Honestly, I can't remember the name of it. I bought it this year. It's brand new seed that I bought. It's really good. It's really flavorful. The bigger pieces I'm actually gonna break into smaller pieces, just like this. Now I have some leftover mushrooms. I'm gonna use those up. I've got some bell peppers. I've got some yellow and some orange ones. I'm gonna finish those. I'm gonna leave the garlic. I've got some radishes that I got out of the garden this morning. I'm gonna cut some of those. I always, when I have these longer radishes, I always peel them. It's just my thing. I don't know why. It doesn't hurt at all to eat the peeling from these, but not super spicy, but enough they add a really good flavor. Oh, that's great. I'm gonna put the whole thing in. Now I'm gonna put a little bit of fresh cilantro in. That just has a terrific smell from this cilantro. Really, really good. I want to get as much of that lettuce up off the bottom as possible. Now I'm going to take some of these washed nasturtiums, cut the little stems off, and that is going to be my salad. And then I'm just going to add a couple tomatoes, maybe a couple onions, even though I've got the radish. My feeling is onion always makes everything taste better. And there's our salad. Well, our healthy meatloaf dinner is ready, and let me show you how it looks, how it came out. Smells terrific. So as you can see, our little meatloaf is done, and all I'm gonna do is take it out of the container, and I'm gonna put it on a paper towel. And the reason I'm doing that, as I told you earlier, if you save some, room along the sides, you're gonna be able to get rid of some of that grease. And there's actually quite a bit, considering this was a really, low fat, some low fat ground beef. So I'm just gonna put a couple pieces of that on my plate and take this off and slice it up. So I'm gonna take 2 nice slices, so about half of this, and this is probably gonna be all that I'm gonna have, and then I'll save the rest of this for another day. We've got a beautiful salad from the garden, and as you can see, I've got some nasturtiums from my flowers. Now these are edible flowers. They're very delicious. Actually, they are kind of peppery. So if you like a little pepper on your salad, this makes a wonderful salad and a beautiful presentation. And then I'm going to get my corn on the cob. Now I'm not going to put a lot of butter on this corn just because I'm trying to watch my weight, but I am going to go ahead and salt and pepper it and put a little bit of butter on it. Now, I am just going to put enough butter on this that it gives it a little bit of flavor, but I'm not interested in putting a ton of butter on it today. I mean, I am, but I'm trying my best here. All right, so there we go. Dinner is served. Thank you for watching me today. I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope you'll, if you're trying to diet or you're trying to lose a little bit of weight after 60, I don't think it's the big things we have to do. I think it's all the little things, the small little choices that we make every day that make the difference. So I'm gonna do a calorie count and a fat count that I'm gonna leave for you at the end of this video. And if you're not a subscriber, please consider subscribing to my channel. Give me a like, a thumbs up, or ring the bell for future notifications. See you next time, everybody. Bye-bye.